Hi, everyone. It's Ann, and I'm here today with Rachel from Hope Mills Nonprofit. And I'm so excited to finally meet Rachel. It's interesting. Our paths crossed a little bit in the beginning, and here we are almost 8 months later. It doesn't, I mean, when I look at it, it seems like it's been 8 months, but then I look at it again and I'm like,
Where'd the time go?
yeah, exactly. Where did the time go? So Rachel is working on a project right now, and she's going to share a little bit of that project with us. And what we're going to do is at the end, we're going to go on and put a the link to Hope Mills. So if you want to donate to the project that she's working on, you can do so. And also, we will be adding an Amazon list. You can go on Hope Mill website, and we'll have all of that information for you. And or you can go on Mountain Alliance Mission website or WNC Strong, and you can find there the Amazon list for this family that she's working with. So Rachel, tells a little bit about this family.
Okay, this is a family that I had met pretty early on in the storm, you as well. And when I initially met the mom and her children, they were living in a tent. Their trailer was destroyed.
How many children?
There's 4 kids.
Four kids.
4 kids under the age of 3.
Three and under.
There's some babies running around, some that can't walk yet, but the happiest, most grateful family. Wouldn't ask for a thing. And when I met her, I took a huge interest in her and her family. And she's a really smart girl, very positive, just a great mom overall, and would do anything for her kids. So the immediate need at the time was a camper to get a roof over their head, get the kids out of the tent. DSS has been an issue as well with the hurricane and families not having, adequate housing for their kids. So that was step one. Over the last several months, we've been trying to work with insurance, FEMA, larger organizations to try to see how we can best help her for the long term. And we won't go into details about that, the FEMA and other things, but it wasn't, the help that was needed to repair these issues and move forward in life. So I had taken one of our volunteers, our contractor, up and had him walk through and look at the damage and kind of just give me a ballpark of what he thought the repairs would cost. And there was so much black mold, and the roof was destroyed. There was so many different items that were just big ticket items. And he told me, he said, I mean, at least 40,000, he's like, it might be worth it to just knock it down and build them a small house from the ground up. He said, I know guys, they'll come and volunteer to help do that. And we just pretty much have to pay for the materials. And that's when I called Ben and talked to him about, I know he has a lot of knowledge in the mobile home industry, just in general. So I was trying to figure out what the cost would be to just get a new mobile home. And that's when he connected me with you and his dad and everybody to kind of work out those pieces. And then come to find out, Mountain Alliance Mission is actually going to donate the whole mobile home.
Yay!
So
and thank you to our donors. So Mountain Alliance Mission is actually going to be donating a home to this family, and I cannot wait to go with Rachel to do this and to finally meet Austin and the kids, because I didn't get to do that in the beginning. I only got to talk with her and hear the kids in the background.
Yeah.
But it's just a super blessing that we're able to do that. And as you noticed, Rachel mentioned Benjamin, and that's Benjamin Van Hook, who is our quarterback that I call. And he now has started Splendid Living, which is a manufacturing home place in Franklin, North Carolina. And the prices are a lot more economical and in people's budget compared to what you can get elsewhere. And the thing is, if you purchase a home, they have worked out agreements with the manufacturers that a portion of that rebuild will go back to Western North Carolina. So that's pretty amazing as well.
It is.
So we're super excited about that. And Austin, they need a vehicle, right?
They do need a vehicle. So she's making it work for now, because when I tell you this woman will make it work for her kids, she will do what it takes to make it work. So she's borrowed a few cars from friends, and then she does have a vehicle now. It's not large enough for all the kids, so they do have another vehicle where both parents will have to drive to get all the kids somewhere, or make it work that way. But a vehicle would a stable, sturdy vehicle that could fit 4 children and 2 adults would be a great help as well to
Yes.
help with the.
Yes. Now, if we have someone out there that has considered donating or actually considered reducing a price on a vehicle that you may have, or know of a friend that may have, that we could potentially look at the price and see how much we could find one to accommodate this family for of 6, or if someone wanted to donate a vehicle, we have all of those avenues taken care of for you. You can get a tax write-off for that, making that not nonprofit donation. They'll be allowed, you'll have that opportunity. But please get in touch with us, email us, let us know, and we can pretty much get any. I have learned one thing, and I think you might agree with me. Through this whole process, I have learned that the power of networking, we can get anything anywhere to Western North Carolina, from anywhere in the United States.
Your network is your net worth.
Yes, it is. And I 100% believe that now, because we've gotten things from literally all over the world. But the fact that we can actually make those connections and get things brought from other states, or get things from our states to other states, for those other states that have been suffering with all of these terrible tornadoes and storms that have caused havoc across the U.S. Our prayers are with all those families, and please continue to pray for our families in Western North Carolina. And Rachel, I don't think you've seen the video yet from the family I went and visited yesterday. But I was in an area in Western North Carolina yesterday with a gentleman, 61. He actually has severe rheumatoid arthritis. His brother is 75. His brother, I think, is doing pretty darn well to be a young 75, but he's developed a lot of breathing issues. And that seems like what we're running into right now with the mold in these homes.
Yeah.
And so when I went in, there's no way anybody in the United States should be living like that.
It's hard to see.
It's
hard to see, and it's a consistent pattern. It's not just these couple of people that we see. There's a lot of people living this way from the storm, and it's because there's not an option.
No.
If the insurance isn't going to cover the mold remediation, and as the mold grows, it creates such a big issue that it just becomes unfathomable. You don't know what to do other than just live in it.
It's true. So, is there places in Western North Carolina that are completely ready to have tourists come back? Absolutely. We have places, and we want you guys to come visit Western North Carolina. But then there's places that are not safe, that you shouldn't go. So you always want to make sure that you check the location that you're going to, make sure that the appropriate parks are open, make sure that the appropriate swimming holes that you usually swim in when you come to Western North Carolina, make sure that the engineers, I think 18th Engineer Corps, actually, the Armies of Engineer has been cleaning out those rivers and creeks. So just make sure that has been done when you come to visit. But just also please remember that we still have water needs in areas. And I know that you think that's unfathomable, because it's unfathomable for us, and when we run into these families and we find out, they still need water. People still have the ones that have electricity in certain places is still flickering on and off. You've heard
out for 6 hours on, I think it was last Saturday or Friday, just most of McDowell County and surrounding areas, just no power.
For no reason. Yeah, no power for no reason. And it's not the power company's fault. The way that Helene hit that area and how the soil erosion has gone, we can't put crews in there right now in certain places, because it would compromise their mission, and we definitely don't want to put them in danger. So that's a problem, is you just can't get the poles into the ground in certain places. Um, there's areas that need everything from water to sheetrock, and that's hard to believe too.
Mhm.
But we're still here. There's other nonprofits that are still here, and we're all finding our way. We're all working together, trying to work together. Um, and that's the goal, because no one can do this by themselves. And we will continue updating you on nonprofits that we know are vetted and that you can. Every mission is going to be different. Your heart is going to be different. There's something that you might want to help with children. Reach out to us at WNC Strong or Mountain Alliance Mission, and I can find those resources for you. I have people like Rachel, and we reach out to our resources and the people that we have on ground at this point, because we're here for the duration.
We are, and the work has gotten harder in the last couple of months. We've lost a lot of the nonprofits that were here in the immediate relief, and now the hard work begins. The projects are larger scale, they're more expensive, they're more time consuming, and there's more red tape that you got to go through than there was before. Even for the demolition we did 2 weekends ago for phase 1 of the project with Austin with the new mobile home, getting the permit to demolish the house and having all the correct people sign off on it, and the county came out and looked at it to confirm, oh, this was definitely hurricane related. And the benefit to that was they waived the $100 fee, but it's not, they don't make anything easy. So now things are time consuming, extremely expensive, and it's bigger scale. It's not taking diapers and baby formula anymore. It's rebuilding houses and building bridges and providing tractors to people who lost all their equipment in the storm so they can have a successful crop next year. And the long term, it's bigger than what it was. So
It is. And the ultimate goal right now is we're literally taking care of these families and making sure they get in America what they need. And I want you to know that when you start talking to nonprofits, or if you see things on Facebook that says we're doing an Amazon list for 5 families and we have this list, please send to this address. If there's not a 501c3 FEIN number, if you do not see that on any post, you don't donate, because we now are having to make up for donations that were given and they may not have gotten to the places they should get to. So just make sure that the nonprofits you work with, that they do have all the paperwork that they need, because these donations are from the people to the people. And we that are work with partnerships for nonprofits, in our positions, we're just the vessel. Don't you agree, Rachel?
100%. And that's something that even volunteers have said to me is I just am so glad that I found you, because I wanted to help. I didn't know where to go. I was on Facebook looking in groups, just offering my services, but you don't know where to go. And so having the vessel is very important. We can take the donations to where they're most needed. We're there most days, if not every day. So we're seeing it firsthand, and we know where the money's going, and we're vetting the people and spending the time with them to learn their story and know that the money is needed and they are deserving of it, and just it's going to the right people.
Exactly. And another thing, reach out to your legislatures, and they need to hear that as the nonprofits that are left in Western North Carolina that are still doing the work, we need to make sure that we advocate for our nonprofits, our fellow nonprofits. We've got to do that. We have to do that to make sure these people are taken care of.
Absolutely.
And it's all about humanity. And I'm just so excited that we're partners with Hope Mills, and that Rachel and I finally have got to meet each other. And we're also taking a surveyor to Austin's land.
Yeah, we've got a surveyor. That's going to be part of phase 2. So now we are taking up same volunteers, and we're going to grade the land, grade the driveway, get the driveway in a little bit better shape, and put some stone down, have the surveyor go up and cut off that parcel from her grandfather's larger parcel. He's giving her that piece. So we'll have that surveyed, put in her name. And if anybody on here has a skid steer that they would like to donate on May 30th, we are looking for one.
Would that be, and this comes from my vocabulary since Helene, would that be a 15,000 pound or would that be a 20,000 pound skid steer?
We'll make any skid steer work.
Okay,
we just
guys.
need the machine.
Yeah, so if you know
And
anybody that has a skid steer,
we probably just need it for the day. I
Yes.
think we could get the job done in one day. Up to this point, we've been blessed with donations of equipment for our previous work days. So I'm hoping to keep this streak going so we don't have to rent one for that weekend. But, you know,
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
exactly. Well, guys, there's a lot going on. There is one other thing I need to touch base with. It's very important. If you have family members in Western North Carolina, if you know someone as a friend, it was brought to my attention last week. I was sent the letter from a county. I'm not going to name what county it was. A county had actually went out, left a legal binding paper contract per se on a mother's property where her house is. Her daughter, who lost everything, including her vehicle, and her son put their camper on mom's property. So the county comes and says, I'm sorry, you're dry docking. That's not accepted in this county. And you're going to have to move it. This is a survivor. The only thing they have, and you can't find a place to rent.
Nope.
And the rent's astronomical.
Mm-hmm.
However, when I got the letter and saw it, I had to verify and make sure it was correct. It really was. And inside the letter, it stated that they would have to pay $50 a day in the fines until it was moved upon receiving that letter. I'm sorry, that's ludicrous. There has to be better ways. We've never seen a scope like Helene before. Nobody's ever seen it. I've had FEMA people tell me that basically they didn't expect to be here as long as they've been here. Organizations, at a loss of not realizing that they were going to have to be here as long as they're here. It makes volunteers it's difficult. It's tiring because sometimes you get in the same rut of using the same volunteers, but you can't wear them out. But I'm saying this because our legislators in our cities and in our counties and at state level and at federal level have to realize there's going to have to be some gray areas to get us through. What do you think? The 3 to 5 years of Helene, at least?
I'd say at least 3. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, at least 3 years. Give some grace. That's all we're asking for. It's just a little grace. And the fact that you actually had to have the county come out, look at it, and say, oh, yes, this was caused by Helene. Are you kidding me? Seriously.
It was only $100 they were saving us. I mean, I'd understand if they were going to knock off like 1,000, and not to be ungrateful. $100 is $100. We'll take it. But it was just a little.
Just another piece to slow down.
Yep.
Movement.
Yep. That's what it did. It pushed us back a week.
And I think we have to realize we've got to keep our people safe in their well-being, shelter, and food, and the well-being covering medical. Until we get that piece sound, it's going to be difficult to do this rebuild.
Oh, yeah. My biggest fear is, 5 to 10 years from now, the amount of people that will have effects from living in mold infested houses with the amount of black mold that we see. I mean, even our volunteers, having our volunteers in these houses on a day-to-day basis, and ourselves walking through them and spending time with these people and the water they've been drinking and using to shower. And I worry for what's going to come in 5 to 10 years if we can't fix these solutions now. If we can't give them a safe, clean environment to live in that's not filled with mold, what are we looking at in 10, even 15 years?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Humanity helping all I was with them yesterday. They're the ones that actually took me to this home that we were at. I have really bad asthma and allergies, and I was in the home, and I know one of the gentlemen, like I stated early in the podcast, he's having issues from that mold and that black mold. No sooner than I got outside, I probably wasn't in there longer than 10 minutes. No sooner than I got outside, my eyes started watering, my nose started dripping, I started sneezing, had to use my inhaler. And if that's just me walking in there, I'm not living it.
Mm-hmm.
And the babies that we have in those situations.
Yeah.
So there's still need, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what's being posted. I don't know what you're being told. But I think Rachel and I, if anybody would love to go see some of the projects that we work on, if you would like to go see some of the areas that need the help, I'm not afraid to invite anybody.
Mm-mm.
No.
Might
Rachel,
as well come along.
yeah, you can come along. I mean, we have to. We can rent a van and take you and just let you see firsthand the needs that are still there, because it truly is unimaginable.
It is. And something I'd like to mention that I felt it on the nonprofit side previous to last week, but last week I was talking to one of our volunteers that was helping us with the demolition, and she mentioned, she just kind of, after spending a couple hours together knocking walls down, she had brought up some of her past memories of the night of the storm and where she was, and kind of talked about it. And it's extremely traumatic for people to remember what they went through. So all these smaller storms and systems that come through are putting people in a very fearful state. They're sad, they're scared, and they do feel forgotten. The media is not talking about Western North Carolina. You don't see it anywhere. You're not seeing updates, or you're not seeing the need that is still there. You're seeing stuff that, oh, look, this is open again, or they're fine now, if you see anything at all. And it's not the case. A lot of the more tourist heavy towns are ready for people to come back and need the tourists to go back. They need the business, but it's the smaller rural towns that were hit the hardest. It's not the places that the tourists are going anyways, and they feel forgotten.
I agree.
So,
I agree. If anything, guys, we're learning a lot of perseverance. We're learning grace, and we're learning patience. And to know that those survivors have to learn those things right now is just tough, because there was a nonprofit that is leaving the area, and Friday and Saturday they posted on their page that they had supplies for people to come get. One of the gentlemen, younger gentlemen that's been with them since the beginning, reached out to me and said what was so alarming to him was water. Just how many people came and asked for water. And he said that the need in Western North Carolina, what he saw from Friday and Saturday of them opening up their hub for people to come get things, when he was in Tylertown, Mississippi, hours after the tornado, hours after, in that first week, there were more people that came to where they were in Western North Carolina at their hub Friday and Saturday than what they saw in Tylertown, Mississippi the first week after the tornado getting supplies.
Wow.
That's concerning.
It is
Concerning. But Rachel and I want to thank you guys for joining us today. It was a joy to be here and to be able to bring you some information. We're going to keep you posted on things and keep you posted on moving forward. And please reach out if you have any questions. Again, Rachel, you want to tell them how to get to you with Hope Mill?
HopeMill.org. You can check out the website, and then there's a donation platform through Zephy where 100% of your donation will go to the cause.
Thank you guys again, and we'll recap real quick. The family that she is working with, a vehicle that would be suitable for 6 people would be amazing. We might can see if we could locate some funds as well if the price is good enough to help this family. If someone wants to donate something, of course, again, please, we love donations and they're great. But if you know that you're donating something that has mold or a mushroom growing in it, we had a camper donate it that had mushrooms in the kids area. I saw it with my own eyes. It wasn't donated to our nonprofit, but it was donated to a nonprofit we work with. And they knew that this family had kids. There's, we had to call a scrap place to come pick it up.
Wow.
So just make sure it would be where you would put your grandbabies and your children. So that's all we ask. And we thank you guys for your continued support of Western North Carolina. And please keep the other states in your prayers that are going through these horrible storms. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. And we'll look forward to talking to you next week. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Rachel.
Of course. Thanks for having me.